We return to part 2 of issue 23. So we start off at part 2 of the issue by looking at the Shapechangers lore. So in Faerun, you've got lots of creatures that can change shape. Some will do it for fun, some just do it to cause trouble. But this also includes werewolves, so we're also talking about creatures that change shape who can't control it. These aren't illusions, like the disguise self spell, but it's like a physical transformation. So you need something like true seeing to spot deception. As mentioned, you may glimpse some on your ventures. You may have already glimpsed some. I know we have, but let's go over the page to see what ones you might find. Aha! Here's our old buddy the Mimic. You may remember him back from encounter number 2 all that time ago. We've got imps as well. I feel like we found one of these in a couple of encounters before as well. Changed into a guy in a house. I'll check on that one. No, it wasn't imp. It was a bearded devil. So get rid of that. But then some other guys, doppelgangers. Obviously, that's like a well-known one in fantasy. That always makes me feel like thinking about the Final Fantasy book with the Forest of Doom right on the cover of it. Succubi and incubi. I knew of succubi. I didn't know incubi was like the male version. Don't really see them much around, I guess. Slardy. Little toe-like aberrations. They make me think of the Slan from Warhammer. I think that's what they're called. Metallic dragons. I know of gold dragons from the original D&D. I've read quite a bit of Dragonlance, so I know about some other metallics too. Doesn't tell you what types you got, just tells you there are metallic dragons. But now we're done with them. We're going to go to the Harpers. We've had talk of them before. And you can join the fight against tyranny as an agent of the Harpers. So they're one of the major factions. They always keep reforming and disbanding and forming. But generally, they've got a fight against evil. But from the shadows, they keep their identities hidden. The name derives from those who harp, because it was founded by bards. But yeah, it's all a bit secretive. Well, I say it's all a bit secretive. Over the page, famous Harpers. One of the first guys is the Open Lord of Waterdeep. Oh, that's not there. That's Laeral Silverhand. This guy's Mert the Moneylender. Yeah, there's a couple of famous Harpers there. Edgin Darvis, Elminster Moore. How to join as well. You don't want to look for fame. You just need your deeds to speak for themselves. And then you've got secret bases and stuff. But yeah, if you value goodness and decency and wish to protect those who cannot protect themselves. Or alternatively, go save a hostage elf from a dead spirit ghost possessing a witch. Got quite a few callbacks here. We've already had the Mimic from Encounter 2. And now going back to when we were already invited to join the Harpers in Encounter 3. So, by this point I could already be a Harper. And then as a member of the Harpers, we're going to go into this adventure here to do some good in the world. And as normal, this is for the Dungeon Master's eyes only, so if you're planning to play this encounter, just use the chapters to skip ahead. Otherwise, continue. As you can see, this is our first adventure for 3rd level characters as well. And the background is a doppelganger node XYZYX escaped from Neverwinter's prison. And he's met Orin Greywind. You may remember him back from issue 16. But he liked his lifestyle, but he needed the money, so he basically impersonated his accountant to get stuff of him, to then impersonate him to get stuff of the accountant, to then go to the bank and take out a load of money, which has caused a lot of drama with Orin when the bank sent him a loan document that he can't get out of. Even the Winter Shield Watchman refused to help him. So instead, we're going to get Talia Ashfield, the Bard, who's going to intervene. So yeah, beginning the encounter, Talia approaches the party, brings them to Orin to go through this whole dilemma. And obviously, Orin doesn't know what's going on. He only knows all the info over the page that you've pretty much already read. But he describes it from his sort of experience, which adds a bit more to the details. And it's a bit of an investigation one to start with. And there's a couple of clues here and there. You get to talk to people. Orin can help you a bit. You'll go to the Maycoins Bank, where you'll have an encounter with the clerk behind the desk, who's getting a bit annoyed and stuff. They got stuff like someone's got magic glasses going in, so they would be able to detect any magical stuff. She gets a bit annoyed, but explains how it all went on. Orin's annoyed. You've got a lot of checks here, so you can try to persuade the clerk. You can do investigation checks. You can find out the signature's a forgery, but a good one. And eventually you might move on. It does say, so you want to go speak to his bookkeeper. If it's indirectionless, Orin's going to muse that his bookkeeper signed the documents, so maybe they should speak to Archibald. So then you'll go see the bookkeeper, who comes up with all his details of his versions of events. Of course, then Orym denies it. Orym says, oh no, I saw you then, and Archibald denies it, and there's a bit of back and forth. And then we get unearned consequence. So it does say here, top tip, don't use the NPCs to help the players, but don't let them get stuck. So you don't want the NPCs just do all the work and the players just be on the side. You want the players to do all the work. But if they've been around for, like, say, 10 minutes of real time and they still haven't got anywhere, then you can kind of use this hint here to get them where you need to go. Because there's no point just having them walk around and do nothing, because then this whole encounter is geared up and them finding this doppelganger in the House of 1,000 Faces, where you're going to go and you're going to see all these flamboyantly dressed people. And again, there's still going to be a couple of interactions between Orym and some patrons, of course, being like, oh, I don't really remember this. So as you can see, it's not actually a big encounter either. So this is going to be one big creature. We've got the second floor of the House of 1,000 Faces. And it's quite a simple map. All you're going to do is go upstairs. There's the door. That's the room you want to get in. Obviously, we've covered doppelgangers, but they've got a couple of tactics here. If you turn up on your own, they've got like a mind reading ability. I didn't know they really had, which makes a bit of sense how they can get a lot of info. But so if you turn up on your own, they'll just open the door and use that against you. If you turn up as a pair of you, we'll still try and do it. It'll try and imposter like another victim and pretend like Orym used them and ran away. And if there's more than two characters, he knows it's an ambush, in which case he's going to grab the gold and leap out the window. And then you've got to be able to break down the door in time or pick the lock to get to him. So I guess it's just a quick and then you're in. Otherwise he's lost with all the money. I do like the developments. If you capture or kill him, then the remaining gold should be returned to the bank. But Thalier's like, oh, embezzle 300 GP off the top. No one's going to know 10% gone missing, right? Even though there's only 2,430 there at the minute, so some's already been spent. But if XYZYX escapes, it bears a personal grudge against the party, so you can create a new adventure with this adversary in future sessions. Again, I'm a bit just like, oh, maybe they could create an optional thing, but it kind of makes more sense that they don't in this case, because if you murder him now and he appears in a late adventure, it's a bit more confusing. Not like when the NPCs leave and there's no consequences, but anyway. We get to our commoner stats. So if Orym has to fight, he's there, but he's going to try and run away. Thalia the Bard's got the same stats again that she had last time we met her, back in issue 16. Also, back in issue 16, when they had the rumours, one of the rumours was a doppelganger escaped from prison 3 days ago, which you'll find is this fella just here, the doppelganger. So all the rumours do come to pass. So here's all his stats. So he's quite good at ambushing. He gets advantage on attacks if he can ambush, and he's got the surprise attack, so he deals extra damage. 2 slam attacks, but yeah, it's got the read forts, which is what helps it blend in when it's shape changed. And if it concentrates, he can just keep on that. Only surface forts though, so just whatever the players are thinking about. Can be blocked by stone, metal, lead, you know, whatever would block X-rays in effect, I guess. And there's a shape change. When it shape changes though, do know that all its stats remain the same. No matter how big or small it goes, it's still going to have dexterity 18, strength 11 sort of stuff. But now we're done with that, it's time to move on to the character sheets. And now we've got all of our third level for the original 4 characters. Let's begin with, we've got Krantor, and you'll see just as standard, he's gained his hit points, and in the features and traits, they've just removed the expertise, so you'll just have to remember that. And instead they've just fitted in all the extra stuff he gets for third level, so it doesn't cost extra movement for climbing, and he's got all the extra bonus actions that can do. And over the page, you can see it's exactly the same. It's a shame they haven't included notes anywhere to say, oh, this is their speciality sort of thing. Oh, wait, no. There it is. Rogue Thief. Missed it. On to Rezagar then. And one thing they've done actually is, in the hit dice box, they've removed the 1d8 to just change to d8, which makes more sense. Your total 3, so it's 3d8, because that was like 2 of 1d8. Didn't make a lot of sense. Anyway, also we've added live domain up there, and there wasn't any extra traits. They've just increased all the spell casting and preserve life in the features and traits box. And then on the back, not really going to go into it. There's quite a lot to break down, but obviously now you can see all the second level spells have been added, and we're going to have a quick look at them a bit later anyway. But on to the next character. We then get to Irina, who is now the Arcane Archer. Has obviously got all the third level stuff. They've now re-added the fact that the strength saving throws there, because they'd missed it off in the level 2 sheet. And then they've added all the Arcane Archer stuff down in the bottom corner too. And on the back, the Druid cantrips have been added. Nothing in the boxes there, but I guess there's no saving throws required, so you don't need any of the info. It's not really an attack. Although we do know her skin tone is now toned down from a copperish hue to just copperish. And it kind of looks slightly different, darker too there, unless that's just a print. Maybe she's had a bit of a tan, who knows. But then moving on, finally, we've got the fourth member, Merovich. As you can see, not much has changed, apart from the fact that Scorching Rays now there as a second level spell, so that's available for your attacks and spell casting, which will have the details over the page. So the final lot of spells, you can see here, Merovich now has all the second level spells added onto the character sheet, including, which is quite nice, so Magic Missile can be cast at the first level, or it can be cast at the second level, or if you use a second level spell slot, it gets better. So rather than putting all the details in there, they've just literally, there's the Magic Missile first level. Here's Magic Missile. If you cast it as a second level to use a second level spell slot, it does this instead. And they've also given you a little note. So they've marked which are abjuration spells to activate your Arcane Ward, which is still only Major Armor and Shield from what I can see. But you might have acquired more at this point. So yeah, that's it for the character sheets. But we're not done yet because we've talked about these spells. So we've now got the spell booklet as well. So here you can see we've got access to all the second level spells. We're going to get more dangerous. It's organised them all by character class as well, but then also it's all alphabetical in the book. But in the magazine now, it's going to refer to here if they've got second level spells, and you can check out the first spell book as well. But what spells are we going to get now, you say? Here we go then. We've got Aid, Air Bubble, Animal Messenger, Augury, Barkskin, Beast Sense, Blindness or Deafness, Branding Smite, Calm Emotions, Continual Flame, Darkness, Dark Vision, Detect Thoughts, which is quite a long text box there, Dust Devil, Earth Bind, Enhance Ability, Enlarge or Reduce, Find Steed, some more big text boxes, Find Traps, Flame Blades, Gentle Repose, Gust of Wind, played a lot of Pokemon recently but it's not that, Healing Spirit, Heat Metal, Hold Person, Invisibility, Lesser Restoration, Locate Animals or Plants, Locate Object, Magic Weapon, Misty Step, Moonbeam, Pass Without Trace, Prayer of Healing, Protection from Poison, Pyrotechnic, Scorching Ray, Shatter, Silence, Skywrite, Spike Growth, Spiritual Weapon, Summon Beast. That seems like something I've heard of before. I think one of the characters has an ability maybe? Or is in a... Oh yeah, there we go. Clerics. And over there. And if you summon a beast, here's your stat blocks for small beasts. Anyway, yeah, also Warding Bond, Warding Word, Wither and Bloom, and finally the Zone of Truth spell, which has been mentioned before. So that's all the second level stuff we've got. And now once you get through all that, now you're finished. Just have a look at all these green dice sat among the sea of blue. Such a nice sight. Anyway, issue 24 is coming up next with more dice. See you next time. Hope to see you soon for map time.